Always a busy founder day.
Always a busy founder day. And it's actually, I love this topic that we are covering today because recently I got to join a live stream of someone who has a massive audience and many years of experience, and he experienced or witnessed a complete meltdown on a live stream because something
What
was
happened?
off. Well, the presentation didn't work, and
Oh,
right, and it just tells you that no matter what, it all comes down to managing stress, right? And figuring out how you really are in the right place mentally to tackle and handle whatever life throws at you. And it's not an
so
easy thing to do.
so you mean like the person had a meltdown live, and you think that they should have acted differently? Were they more mentally healthy?
Yeah, pretty much, yes. I think that would be a good way to summarize it. I mean, I think that, it's of course everyone's personal journey and we're all learning every day, right? But what that told me is that something was off, right? There is always a problem to tackle, right? If you're an entrepreneur, if you are doing things that are new, that are uncomfortable, if you're putting yourself out there, there is always stuff that's gonna go wrong. There is always stuff that you mess up, right? It's just that's part of stretching yourself, right? But
Oh my God,
I
don't
think
talk
that
about
was
stretching because I just pulled my back. Basically.
right. You had
No trigger words, please. No trigger words.
right. Okay, well, so we're going to talk about managing stress and stretching.
Physical stress and mental stress, right? And stretching.
Exactly. But that just tells me that, there wasn't the right, I guess what it told me is that, we're all human, right? And I don't want to be judgmental, but I was frankly surprised. I was surprised that, yes, guys, this is life. These things happen all the time, right? And I think just learning some tools to deal with it will not solve all the problems, but certainly can help you react to those problems in a different.
Vlada, can we do
Sure.
some debate here? Uh,
Yeah.
you know, maybe you just don't want or don't know how to show your feelings, and the other person knows how to show their feelings, regardless of what their feelings are. I'm not saying that it's good or bad. And again, like
Right.
making a comment about you, it's just to make a comment. But I'm just saying that some people might think that I want to be super authentic with my audience.
Right.
Because, like, as far as I understand, you're talking about founder who was like doing live something that we're doing
Right.
with you.
Right.
So some people, they say like, okay, I want to be like super authentic with my audience.
Right. That's what she said.
Yeah, and I and I want to like show my feeling. I mean, I'm not afraid to show my feelings because I want, like, people should know that behind the curtains or whatever, but the price for success is not only smiley faces, right?
Right.
It's also being sad, it's also being vulnerable, it's also being I don't know, it's also crying. I'm not gonna do this because, like, this is super. So first of all, when you have this meltdown publicly, it's not only about you, it's also about other people. So, like,
Right.
if somebody has a meltdown in front of me, I don't really want to be in that situation, right? Because, like, if I'm not the cause of the meltdown, or like, like, I don't want to be in this situation. And I understand that, being authentic here, it equals technically creating a situation to entertain people with the different, like, to play with their emotions technically, right? But yeah, like, that's like, it's the same, like, for example, if you ever had a situation when an employee starts crying in front of you, right? Because they had like a bad day, or like, and like, you are not the reason for their meltdown.
Right.
They just had a bad day, they don't know how to cope with this. Like, this is super, like, I don't want to be in this situation. Because, like, I don't want to be like a shrink and start digging into like what's
Right.
really the problem
Absolutely.
here.
Yeah. Yeah, that's very true. And as a founder's entrepreneur, you have to deal with your own stress and morale, but also many times of others that you're responsible for. Uh, to a greater or lesser extent, right, on your teams, right? Someone comes with a bad day, and at the end of the day, you if they're bringing it to the team and the workforce, you need to help them or guide them through that sometimes, right, depending on sort of their seniority and circumstances. So I really wanted to dive in, Anna, into something practical. um,
Okay.
let's throw out some tips that we use that help us manage
that help
stress.
that help us not to have a meltdown when
Meltdown in front of
live stream.
1,000 people watching us right now on LinkedIn.
Yeah, you know what, to be honest, I want to start with not a piece of advice. I want to, well, actually, it's going to be a piece of advice. I did mention, just like, when I just made my comment, I did say that, like, can you really show your feelings, right? Can, like, you as a founder show your feelings, whether it's like showing your feelings, in front of other people, or just admitting your feelings to yourself. So
Mhm.
technically, I believe that not to get into situation when you have a public meltdown, or maybe even like a private meltdown. Meltdowns are like, you don't have to put yourself in a situation to have a meltdown, right? Like, you have
Right.
to do something in order not to have this meltdown, like, and analyze the situation that can bring you to a meltdown. So in order to not to have this meltdown, you really have to understand your feelings, and you have to, like, admit these feelings, because I feel like a lot of times what happens, that founders are like, they're so used to being strong that they don't allow certain feelings, because allowing these certain feelings may signal, being,
Weakness.
yeah.
Right.
And you don't, like, do this, but what I've learned over the years, what I've learned
Oh,
over the
happy birthday, Anna, but
uh,
your
Yes, thank
reflection.
you, thank you so much. Yeah, what I've learned over the years, that you have to be weak, because this is part of human nature. And it doesn't mean, like, I'm not saying that you have to always be weak, but you have to allow yourself the feeling of being weak. You have to allow yourself the feeling of, I don't know, doing nothing, being lazy. Like, you have to really value, and that's, I think, the therapy effect. You have to really value all sorts of feelings that your body wants to experience at certain
Yeah.
time of the day or night, without being judgmental, because I think that the biggest and the worst judge in your life is you. Because we're judging ourselves so much, we don't even notice this, because, like, we usually notice other people first before we notice what we actually do. So I believe that this is really important to feel good about all kinds of feelings. And sometimes, even though, like, people who don't know me personally, they will never believe that I can be sad, like, never. Because I mean, I like, just your friend, like, I'm not gonna go out, like, just go and show my meltdown or, like, my sadness. But I do, like, yeah, every human being, I can be sad, but it's just like, I don't see the point of, talking about my sadness with other people, because,
Because that's gonna make them sad
yeah,
also.
it's gonna make them point. I mean, yeah, I can tell people, like, I get sad, right? So that they know that it's not like fun and games, like,
Right.
you have, like, good and bad moments in your life. But yes, that's something that I think
Yeah.
founders and professionals have to take into.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I think if I were to summarize, or at least what I take away from this, is being relatable, right? If we translate it into more of a, you know, domain of uh, building teams, or domain of sort of social media, right? People like relatable people, right? People that have all the complexity and messiness of various emotions, right? If they're all, superhuman soldiers, just marching, never tired, never giving up, never stressed, right? That's just not a relatable person. And so people can't trust that person because they're not showing the other side.
Yeah.
I completely agree. But I think the other bit for me that is important is actually like, what is the lesson learned? That actually what I'm thinking about is, I think even in parenting, I do think it's very important to be relatable for your child, and actually showing your vulnerability and how, you are struggling through certain things, right? Because you're human. But I think I always ask my question to myself is like, what is the lesson learned, right? And so I think maybe I need more therapy, but I'm giving myself permission to show sort of my weakness when I already found a solution.
Mm.
So
So you're not showing your weakness. You
yes,
already
only
found a
weakness
solution.
that translates into a strength. Yes, exactly.
So you're the go-getter, and you're like success first person. So you're not gonna show that. Okay, I failed. You're gonna show.
Wait
Okay,
for it.
nuts.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. I feel that
As long as
uh,
it makes you happy, as long as it works for you. I mean, there's
yeah, it works for me because I know that I'll find a solution, and once I find, then I'll be comfortable sharing sort of the low moment before that.
okay, yeah. I mean, that's like your thing, and like I said, but then again, I feel like because we as human beings over the course of like lifetime, we change. Like this thing about you can change, right? So
Right.
it's also important not to get glued to something that it's the same as in a company, like in the startup world, right? Something that worked for you 4 years ago in building your company or in getting
Wouldn't
clients
work. No.
might
Yeah.
not work 4 years like from now or even a year from now, and that's like really important not to get really stuck with that and glue yourself
Mm-hmm.
on like one thing and one solution. And the same about personality, right? If you have always been like a go-getter, and then at a certain time of your life or career, you decide that okay, I want to do this, which is like different from what I'm used to be doing. That's totally fine. But in order to understand this, you really have to be um, like you really have to understand yourself really well, and you
Mm-hmm.
have to be in constant learning process of
Right.
like who you are and how things work within you and outside, like in the
Yeah,
outside world.
absolutely.
Therapy,
Cool. Well,
coaching, mentoring, right? What
yeah,
else?
yeah, that's why it's so important, because it's actually it's interesting now that I'm coaching so many folks and helping them grow their startups. It's so much harder to actually apply the same lessons to myself, and right. And I know to share with myself whatever I'm sharing with others, but the application process from outside is so much easier. It's just funny how that works.
Yeah, but the great thing is that when you coach other people, you are being coached yourself. This is
Yeah.
what I loved. This is what I love about coaching classes, because I have taken a few classes to become a coach, and the one of like I of course I took these classes to be coaching other people, like to be more organized, more formal, to be more structured in my coaching. But I also took this for my personal development, because every time you're doing a coaching program, you are technically going through a professional personal development for yourself. So this is great. Like we learn the best when we teach others. Technically, that's what
Yes.
they say, right? So when you
Absolutely.
like coaching is not really teaching, but that there are elements.
Right.
So that's why like when you coach others, you get
Yeah,
coached.
you get coach yourself.
Yeah.
Um,
Hmm?
awesome. Well, we have just 3 minutes to chew on this, and I did want to throw out a one mindset that I think is very helpful to me to manage through stress, and that's trusting the process. I think a lot of stress comes from, hey, I'm not getting results, I'm not getting customers, I'm not getting investors, I'm not getting whatever it is you're after, right? You're running, right? All the founders want to, achieve some sort of outcome, whatever that outcome, we want it always faster than it happens, right? And I think if you feel clarity and confidence in what you're doing, right? And you just have to trust the process, that you are going through the motions that will result in whatever outcome in the right time, right? And so I think that's been a big mental shift for me over the last few years that allowed me to keep sanity. How about you, Anna? What's your
Love this. I just want to
perspective?
add to our
Mhm.
like listeners and audience, because I don't want people to get confused. Trust the process and work hard. Because
Yes.
a lot of times people want to have that magic.
Yeah. No magic dust.
Exactly. They have process, but they don't want to do anything. For me, to be honest, I feel like um, what really helps is the personal development curve, because being a founder, like I said, and I think we mentioned this in our previous shows, you end up uh, taking much more or many more business courses, or like business sessions, and you don't think that your personal stuff is really important. I believe that the sooner you start combining your personal development journey with your professional development journey, the more cohesive your journey is going to become, because you will see the 360 picture, because people don't understand that their work life is not separate from their life. That's why, as guys, Vlada and I, we don't believe in work-life balance, right? We believe in life where work is part of it. So that is why it has to be all done together. So I would like to encourage, all the founders and professionals to align professional development with personal development. The sooner, the better. And another thing that I believe helps people as well, it helps me. I don't believe in it's too soon or too late. I believe it's now, okay? I mean, yeah, I can definitely be comparing myself to other people and thinking, okay, like this is a billionaire and he's 20 and this is what he achieved in ed tech. And like, I'm not a billionaire and I'm not in my 20s and this is what I achieved, right? So, but this is great. However, whenever you have some idea or whenever you have, I don't know, you decide that you want to do something or try something or be someone, it's never too late, it's never too early, it's now. So you just the important thing is to start doing it right now, to start acting on it.
Yeah, absolutely. And just to finish this off is celebrating small wins, right? I actually recently heard about this practice of, again, as entrepreneurs, we're all super achievers. And we immediately, when you ask me about how my day was, I want to tell you about 60 problems that occurred instead of saying, hey,
And, well,
we
you know what, you could have had a meltdown in like live, Lana.
I know. But and then that's why you need that balance, and then you need to really, find that source of joy and celebration in everyday life, and it's of course a moving target. But my cause for celebration is seeing Anna and chewing together on this important topic. If you guys have questions, please post them in the comments about managing stress, or maybe you have some know-how and some strategies that can help other founders, other entrepreneurs. Be the force for good. Sharing is caring. So share those things, and let's live with less stress and more results together.
Yeah, more small wins. Maybe
Or-
next time when we meet, I know that next week we're going to be skipping our daily weekly
Yeah,
to this, but the week after, maybe we can talk about
small wins.
small wins. Yeah, just to I don't know, just to celebrate ourselves a little bit.
To be more authentic, right?
Yeah, be more authentic, celebrate small failures. I don't know if I'm ready to talk about that.
All
But
right, we'll focus on small failures and big wins, or some combination,
yeah,
so that it's still
or how to
positive.
turn your failure into a small win.
A small win, exactly, because it is a small win if you learn from it, right? That's the connection.
Absolutely, Vlad. I think we have to talk about small wins versus failures and how to deal with this. So that's the
Yeah,
topic for the next time.
amazing.
It's going to be in a week,
In 2 weeks.
in 2 weeks. Yeah. The week after the next. Oh my God.
Yeah, and something for memory. We'll talk about memory too. All right. Thank you, guys. Have an amazing rest of your day, and see you in 2 weeks.